Blue Box. We all know it, we all love it, whether you call it Kraft Dinner or mac and cheese. It's a staple of every picky eater. It's a staple of everybody's childhood. It's a delicious way to just grub down on something quick and easy and cheap. Velveeta is still superior. Yeah, all right, you can call this a hack if you want. So they said that you should just dump the mac in, then we hit it with some milk. This seems like a tummy ache. Some water. Said you wanted about covering, so I guess I'll add more water. 2 cups of water, I guess. And we toss the butter in right now. Kraft Dinner, or I keep calling it Kraft. I'm not even Canadian. It's wild that that's what they call it in Canada. Mac and cheese, staple at my house. A delicious food. And then you drop your butter in. This is the real psycho shit right here. You put the goddamn cheese packet right in with it. Just feels wrong. Put it on medium low. This is like real poverty food. Like, you can't follow the directions. Give it a stir so nothing sticks to the bottom. Like, how lazy did you have to be to find out that this works? Like, that you're like, oh, I can't be bothered to follow the instructions on literally the easiest food possible to make. Stir it, make sure everything's combined. You know, I was a picky kid when I was little, and I was so picky I didn't even like Kraft mac and cheese. Salt. I'm gonna wait to put the pepper on. I love mac and cheese, man. Mac and cheese is it's comfort food. It's supposed to be comforting, and I can't think of anything more comforting than a food that comes in a box and is incredibly processed. Growing up a dumb Midwestern American, I love processed food more than almost life itself. And I know that's not a popular take by those who are like smart or whatever, but processed food 9 times out of 10 tastes significantly better than every other kind of food. It's designed to taste appealing to your taste buds. It's grown in a lab to have the most amount of enjoyment in it. That's why I don't get why everyone's so up in arms about it. Just keep stirring it. We're just getting that butter melted. Look at that cheese sauce. Oops. Keep stirring it. The butter's melted. I'm gonna go put it on the big stove. All right, we're back with the gloop. Been chilling on the stove for a bit. We're gonna add just a little bit of shredded cheddar in here. Thicken that sauce up. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Thicker than your blood is gonna be after eating this much fucking Kraft mac and cheese. Do you know how much sodium's in this shit? I don't really know either, but probably a lot. You know, it does look awfully silky, which, if I'm being honest, not my favorite way to eat mac and cheese. I'm more of like a thicker kind of guy, but it doesn't look terrible. I'm just gonna pour it up in a bowl here. It does look mighty cheesy and gooey. Pepper on this, John. There you have it. The laziest Kraft mac and cheese I've ever seen. Now we're just gonna take a bite. You know, it is good, but at the end of the day, it still just kind of tastes like the box stuff. The cheese is really all that elevates it, and I think it turns out better when you kind of follow the instructions. It's still mac and cheese though, so how mad are you gonna be at it? For this next one, the guy uses Annie's. And this is, you know, I'm a Velveeta apologist, but I am a fan of Kraft mac and cheese. And this is by far the worst boxed mac and cheese I've ever had. This is worse than the store brand, but hey, he used it, so we're gonna try that. Annie's. Too big of a pot for this because I'm using the only other pot that I have. You can't even see it on camera, but we're just getting the noodles boiling right now. The guy was very adamant about salting the water, which fair, salted. We're gonna get these bubbling. Following homeboy's instructions on the easiest. It's your fault, dude.
Today on Comments That Keep Me Up at Night, some dude writes to me, "Ooh, Annie's mac and cheese is so bland."
And these are the comments that keep me up at night. I like that guy's videos. I'm just f***ing around, but he is kind of right that like if you are making it, like you just kind of figure it out yourself. I'm gonna melt some butter in a pan. We're gonna make some panko breadcrumbs. Melt the butter. You want a decent amount in here. Don't be afraid of touching your non-stick with the metal for. It's the worst that's gonna happen. You get cancer. The least likely thing to give me cancer in my daily life. I just ate butter straight up. I'm gonna die of a heart attack before I get cancer. Got some panko breadcrumbs here. I always put too much butter in the pan. Some say there's no such thing. Now we got the butter mostly melted. Just gonna drop them in. About that much, just enough. Too much butter, I was right. Oh well, gonna toast these Johnnies up. Evenly distribute the butter. Get it nice and toasty. Toasty, roasty. I'm such a mess. I can't cook anything without just wrecking the kitchen. I'm careless, I'm weak, and I'm a coward. Getting toasty. I'm an idiot, a moron, an imbecile. All right, those are toasty enough for me. Put them on a plate. Okay, now in the video, a guy kind of made a roux with the cheese powder, and I thought that was a decent idea, so I'm gonna copy him on that. Drop some butter in the pan, lower the heat. Place is a mess now. It's like a racetrack for butter. It's like a skate park for butter. Getting brown, good enough. We're gonna drop our Annie's cheese, which is like vegan or some bullshit. We're just gonna drop it right in the pan. Just mix it around. Kind of looks like scrambled eggs. Okay, that's good. We're gonna do a splash of milk. Box mac and cheese is kind of like having sex with a condom on. You know, it's still good in the moment and you're pretty happy with it, but at the end of the day, it's not quite the real thing. Good enough, that's what we call it. Homeboy also dropped a couple slices of cheese in it. American cheese. I got some white cheddar in here. I like this, I've done this before. Thicken that sauce up, wiggle it around, use every pan in your house, get everything fucking nasty. I'm gonna hit it with some salt and pepper and garlic powder over here too. Might as well elevate it completely. Combine, come on. No, you want to. Come on. You can do it, it's almost there. Okay, now that that's mostly smooth, noodles, drop them right in the cheese sauce. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just spilled cheese everywhere. Stir it around. Some pepper at this point. Now we just serve it up into a bowl. We're just gonna hit it with some of our toasted breadcrumbs on top. And there you got it. Mix it together. Get a little bite. This one's so much better than the other one and it's not that much more work. This one's all mine. A play on the classic baked mac and cheese. This one's just easier. Pot of water here. We're doing 2 boxes of mac and cheese because this is gonna be my lunch and dinner for today. Salt the shit out of the water. Perfect. Bring it up to a boil. We're gonna drop the noodles in. Stew in. Give it a stir. Make sure nothing sticks. We're gonna throw it back on there and we're gonna work on the cheese sauce. I really like the idea of making a roux out of the cheese sauce, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop butter in, about half a stick. It. Drop it in the pan, melt it down. This mac and cheese is another staple of like trashy cooking, like high class white trash. Even though it's not really high class because like mac and cheese isn't like a delicacy, it's just kind of a meal. It's Southern comfort food. This is like quick and easy comfort food more than anything. I'm really discouraged by all the dishes that I've made. And the mess on the floor, and the mess on the counter, and just my life is a mess right now. So really discouraged. Butter takes forever to melt. Again, probably use too much butter. Who gives a It's gonna make it taste good. That's all that matters. We're making the roux, a roux, in deep quotations, roux. This meal is gonna, it's like putting rims in a shit car that you like. Yeah, it might not be everybody's cup of tea. Maybe your 2006 Toyota Corolla isn't a cool car, but you putting wheels on it makes you feel good. And you making baked mac and cheese out of box stuff makes you feel good. Dump the cheese in, the delicious cheese powder. And we're just gonna whisk it. Maybe I used not enough butter. Didn't see that one coming. Well, that absorbed it. So that's our roux. Again, heavy quotation. Make the bechamel and dump some milk in there. Wicks it around. It's getting real when you actually bust out the real whisk and not just using a fork. Again, bechamel in heavy quotes. Now, we're gonna drop the cheese in. We're making a Mornay. Whisk it around again. It's gonna taste so good though. You know, that's what I gotta keep in mind. You know, I made a mess. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to clean, but just look at this consistency on this. Velvety. It's like Velveeta. I basically made Velveeta. And it's going to be cooked in the oven. You need it nice and crispy. It's gonna taste really f***ing good. There we go, cheese sauce. Now to our delicious cheese sauce, we're gonna add our 2 packages of noodles, salt, garlic powder, pepper. And here's how you make it a real meal. Drop a chicken breast, a roasted chicken breast in there. It's gonna give you some protein. Makes it healthy. Just mix it up here. And we're gonna take this, our mac and cheese mixture, pour it in a baking dish. This smells delicious already. Flatten it out. That's what good pussy sounds like. Breadcrumbs. I like that that's what good pussy sounds like it transcends time. Like that's a meme that will never go away. Top it with some breadcrumbs. This is the whitest thing about me. I know black community tends to stray towards cheese on top. I'm honkied up when it comes to mac and cheese, and I like breadcrumbs. I like the crunch. The cheese is cheesy enough for me. In every little corner. That looks awesome. Now we're gonna throw that in a 350-degree oven. It's done. Could have went a little longer, but I'm starving. Nothing more left to do than plate. Just grab a big chunk, scoop it on your plate. There it is. It looks like on the plate, and I can't really be bothered to fix that right now, but this gonna bang. Give it a shot. Get some noodles, some breadcrumbs, some chicken. Really is like you made it yourself. It's got that cheesiness that you like from Kraft. It scratches 2 itches at one time. Kills 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will.